If you want proof that Iran endangers the entire world, the last 48 hours have given it. In the last 48 hours, Iran targeted a civilian area.
After IDF chief warned that Iran's new missiles can reach Europe, is Netanyahu now trying to turn that threat into a rallying cry for the entire continent? After Iranian missiles rained down on Dimona and Arad, right next to Israel's nuclear heartland, how close did this weekend come to the nightmare scenario everyone feared? When Netanyahu stands in a blasted street and says Iran is endangering the entire world, is he panicking, or carefully building a case to globalize Israel's war? As nearly 200 people in Dimona and Arad nurse shrapnel wounds, is Bibi's demand that other leaders join up against Iran the opening pitch for a much wider coalition? Israel's prime minister is warning that Iran's missiles now threaten European capitals even as southern Israeli towns count their wounded from the latest strikes. Visiting the strike site in Arad, Netanyahu insisted that Iran targeted a civilian area, arguing the intent was mass murder rather than a stray shot. He linked the Arad hit to Iran's long-range launch at the UK airspace on Diego Garcia, saying both prove Tehran is testing how far it can go. I've been warning that Iran is endangering the entire world. They now have the capacity to reach deep into Europe, Netanyahu said, repeating that London and Berlin are in range. Pointing to Iranian moves around the Strait of Hormuz, he accused Tehran of trying to blackmail the entire world by threatening energy routes and cities at the same time. It's time to see the leaders of the rest of the countries join up, he urged, calling on US allies to move from statements to direct action against Iran.
If you want proof that Iran endangers the entire world, the last 48 hours have given it. In the last 48 hours, Iran targeted a civilian area. They're doing that as a mass murder weapon. Luckily, no one was killed, but that's due to luck, not their intention. Their intention is to murder civilians. Second, they fired on Jerusalem right next to the holy sites of the three monotheistic faiths, the Western Wall, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, and the Al-Aqsa Mosque. And by dint of a miracle again, none of them were hurt, but they were targeting the holy sites of the three major monotheistic religions. Third, they fired an intercontinental ballistic missile on Diego Garcia. That's 4,000 kilometers. I've been warning all the time. They have now the capacity to reach deep into Europe. They already have fired on a European country, Cyprus. They are putting everyone in their sights. And fourth, they're stopping a maritime international route, energy route, and trying to blackmail the entire world. What more proof do you need that this regime that threatens the entire world has to be stopped? Israel and the United States are working together for the entire world. And it's time to see the leaders of the rest of the countries join up. I'm happy to say that I can see some of them beginning to move in that direction, but more is needed. President Trump's call to have the international community confront this terrorist fanatic regime of zealots, that is a call not only for the security of America and the security of Israel, it's for the security of the entire world. And it's time for them to act.
Sir, what will your response be to this attack on Israeli civilians?
We're responding with great force, but not on civilians. We're going after the regime. We're going after the IRGC, this criminal gang, and we're going after them personally, their leaders, their installations, their economic assets. We're going after them very strong.
What does victory look like in this campaign?
Well, we've defined two clear goals. One is to break completely their nuclear program, break completely their missile program, break completely their capacity to produce the components for both of these programs. We're well on our way on achieving it. We've also set a goal of creating conditions for the Iranian people to overthrow this tyranny that has tormented them and made life miserable and is making life miserable for the entire world. And I hope we achieve that too.
Overnight, President Trump said that if in 48 hours the Iranians don't open the Strait of Hormuz, that there will be strikes against the power grids in Iran. Will you participate in those strikes, and what do you think should happen next in this campaign?
I think President Trump knows exactly what he's doing, and whatever we do together, and as far as possible in confidence.
Iranian missiles wounded roughly 200 people in southern Israel on March 21st, according to Israeli and local officials. Israel's health ministry says 116 people were hurt in Arad alone. with 7 listed in serious condition after buildings collapsed. Another 64 were injured in Dimona, the city that hosts Israel's main nuclear facility, including at least 1 person in critical condition. Several residential buildings were destroyed outright, and emergency crews reported multiple shrapnel injuries across both towns. Iranian state TV framed the strikes as a response to an earlier attack on the Natanz nuclear complex inside Iran. Tehran has accused US and Israeli forces of targeting its Natanz enrichment site on March 21 in a joint operation. Iran's Atomic Energy Agency confirmed Natanz was attacked but stressed there had been no radioactive leakage or meltdown. An unnamed Israeli official told AP that Israel was not responsible for the Natanz hit, but offered almost no further detail. Separately, the IDF announced it had struck a facility at Tehran's Malik Ashtar University the same weekend. The army said that site was used to develop components for nuclear weapons and Iran's ballistic missile program, calling it a strategic target.
Citizens of Israel, we are concluding the 3rd week of Operation Lion's Roar. I, together with all IDF commanders, feel every day the weight of responsibility on our shoulders and the price you pay in the home front with courage and patience. Unfortunately, we are also experiencing painful civilian losses from missile attacks. Our hearts go out to the deceased, the injured, and their families. The resilience you demonstrate is a critical component of our national strength. Without your steadfast support, our fighters could not operate with such power and determination. The tactical achievements we have made over the past week have already been noted by many in the region. We have conveyed to Egypt an assessment and admiration for Israel's defensive, offensive, and unique intelligence capabilities. They fully understand the scale of the threat and have asked us to focus on eliminating it. The extensive damage we have inflicted on the Iranian regime over the past 3 weeks is beginning to accumulate into a systematic, strategic, military, economic, and governmental achievement. As a result, the regime of evil is weaker. Iran is more exposed and without a significant defensive capability. The regime's leaders, who developed these capabilities with the aim of destroying us, are struck and confused. I wish to thank our partners in the United States military. I am in close, daily contact with them as part of the battle's intensity. The trust between us is high. We share a common target bank, and our military plans are coordinated and synchronized. This strategic partnership with our ally is a point of enormous and unprecedented strength in this campaign. There is a shared interest and commitment to removing the existential threat to Israel, the United States, and the entire region. Just yesterday, Iran launched a 2-stage land-based ballistic missile with a range of 4,000 kilometers towards a target on Diego Garcia. These missiles were not intended to strike Israel. Their range reaches European capitals, Berlin, Paris, and Rome, all within direct threat range. We have learned from global and Jewish history that denying a threat or appeasing it does not eliminate it. On the contrary, it projects weakness and encourages extremist regimes. Those who fail to address a threat early will face it later, at their own peril. Holding lethal strategic capabilities in the hands of radical dictatorial regimes is a danger not only to Israel, but to the United States and the world it leads. Its vast military defends the entire free world. Alongside our powerful campaign against Iran, we are also conducting determined operations along our northern border. I visited Mechela and Kiryat Shmona this morning. I met with local leaders and listened to the challenges they face. Today, I approved Northern Command's plans for continued operations. I met with division and brigade commanders. We are all determined to fundamentally change the security reality on the northern border. No more containment. There is initiative. There is aggression. Our forces will act as a shield between the enemy and the communities, and any target that poses a threat will be eliminated. Our operations in Iran are weakening Hezbollah. Hezbollah acts in service of Iran, destroying Lebanon and dragging it into war. The current campaign will advance our strategic goal of dismantling Hezbollah's arsenal. Dear citizens of Israel, we are midway through this effort, but the direction is clear. In about a week, at Passover, the Festival of Freedom, we will continue to fight for our freedom and our future. I met this week with one of our squadron commanders returning from a mission over Iran. He told me that his mother expressed a concern and wished for the war to end. What could be more motherly than that? He replied that if she truly cares for him and his children, it is better for the campaign to continue until we complete the mission for the sake of our future and that of the generations to come. This spirit of mothers and fathers exists in countless homes of service members and their families on the front lines, protecting the home with deep care. You, too, are heroes of Lion's Roar. The IDF continues its broad operational efforts with determination and responsibility. We will lead to victory.